Welcome back, everyone. Adams Sanitation here. Kevin, what this is two grizzled old guys and the new guy I just met.
Who is this new guy?
Adams Sanitation leadership here. We got Tim Bulldog, we got Josh Bugby, and Bailey Sneed, who's their commercial sales manager. I want to start with you, Tim, because we got so much to talk about. Everyone knows the name Tim Bulldog in Okaloosa County. What prompted you to be now the leader of Adams Sanitation?
Well, man, I have always strived to get to a place where I could get like great hair like you have.
Yep.
And I felt like if I changed jobs, I could probably afford to get the same type of hairstyle you got.
You like it?
I do, yeah. No, honestly, man, I love my community. I loved serving in the community. You know, for about 20 years, I worked in local government.
Sure.
It's a personal belief, but I do believe that when people get into a position of authority in local government, that you should set your own timeline. Meaning that, you know, there should be tenure. You should only be able to stay for a certain amount of time. And I felt like I did some fun things, some cool things in Fort Walton. Then we went to Crestview, and I felt like we really did some great things up there. But I also believed that the next generation of leaders that we had built up in Crestview was going to do so much better. And so decided to leave. And when I got ready to leave, I had a couple of different opportunities, some development stuff, all that kind of stuff. And then eventually Nathan came calling and made me an offer I couldn't refuse. It's garbage, man.
Well, you know it is, and it's interesting you say that because there's a perception. I want to talk to Josh Bugby, who's been a director of business development for several places in our community. It's nice to have you back in that field.
Yeah,
let's chat about his offhanded comment about Godfather, but there's always been kind of a mafia connection in the garbage business, yes?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I like to say we got two things in common, and I want yours more than I want mine, and that's trash, and we want your trash. But really it's about community engagement and business partnerships to me. As we've met many different circles of arenas, being in business development is all about relationships. And so having an opportunity to be with Adams Sanitation, it really just opened up a great door for me to be able to utilize some of the skill set that I have, but also build new relationships in the process.
Well, they did a great job with the hire, again, with Tim Bulldog and certainly Joshua Bugby, two guys who have just done great things in the community for various other businesses. And then we got Bailey Sneed, the new guy, the commercial sales manager who I just met.
How'd you
hook up with these guys?
Well, actually, it's kind of a funny story. I was at Blue Wahoo's game with my family, and my son's running around everywhere. And I happened to run into Tim, and
I
happened to run into Tim, and we started talking a little bit. I go to church with him, so I already knew him a little bit.
Okay.
Yep.
And so I started chatting with him about what he does, and I knew that he just started with Adams. So he said that he was looking to start trying to get into a sales position, started, and kind of took off from there.
That's amazing. But, certainly Tim Bulldog, of course, a great businessman, a community guy, as well as a great Christian. And what a great way to meet. So I'm glad to hear that story, Bailey. I hadn't heard. So I want to ask you, as a commercial sales manager guy, Adams Sanitation's local, right? It's a local-based company.
Right. Yes, sir.
And what's the history on it? Do you know?
Yeah, we're based out of Milton, Florida. That's where our headquarters is at. We got a small branch in Crestview as well. But
so current ownership with the Boyles family has been 7 years. They purchased it 7 years ago. It was a couple of old ratty trucks, not even garbage trucks, throwing garbage in the back of a bed. And this year we're over 4 counties. About half of our business is subscription-based. About half of our business is through government contract and HOA contracts, things like that. So, we can, if you want to keep your neighborhood specifically clean, we're the company for you. But Nathan and Crystal just had a vision for taking the local business and just fighting the big dogs, getting into it with them. So it's been about 7 years under that ownership, and we've grown from a couple $100,000 company to about $17 million this year.
It's absolutely amazing. Josh, Tim is referencing certainly Nathan and Crystal Boyles, our 3-time county commissioner.
That's right.
Who I remember chatting with him about a year or two ago, and I said, what are you going to do? And he says, I don't know. And then he runs for state rep, right? So that's when he says, I got to bring in the cheese. I got to bring in the boys.
A bit of an underdog story, really. I think that people love to root for the underdog. It reminds me of the Rocky Balboa movies. Apollo Creed is this big dude, and he's out there, and he gives anyone a shot. And here comes Rocky, and the whole deal, he's really losing sleep. And it's not the fact that he could win; he just wanted to know if he wanted to go the distance. And so, when you choose Adams Sanitation, not only do we want to go the distance, but we do want to win. So we are your underdog, and there are lots of different Apollo Creeds out there that are opposite of us, but run with the underdog. Yeah, we love the underdog story, and we're doing it well.
I love it. And again, back
to you. I recruited him, man. You didn't write that one down. Both these guys, man. Nathan, when we first got started, he said, how you want to go out and recruit your sales team, your business development team? I said, I want people who believe in serving the customer as the top priority, and I want people who are working. So I went and stole them.
Well,
you don't hire people that are looking for a job. We hire people that are working.
That's a great plan. And Bailey, in this case, commercial sales manager. Did you ever hear Nathan Boyles at the county commission meetings? I mean, his bulldog approach is really what helped us in this county, Tim, as you would say, for the last 10 or 12 years. I mean, he just did a great job, and we're so grateful and looking forward to him serving in Tallahassee. But commercial sales manager, does that mean you're just going to go to any business? And what's your geographic region?
We're trying to get into Escambia County all the way to Bay County is what we're currently trying to implement. That's essentially what I'm trying to do is I'm going into every business, every small business, every large business. Doesn't matter how big, how small. Everyone's got trash. So that's a good thing. So demographic's pretty big. We want to just offer exceptional customer service. You always got somebody that you can call. That's me.
Man, here's the deal. So Escambia, Santa Rosa, Okaloosa County all have open commercial, which means that if you currently own a commercial business and you have garbage service with somebody that you're not satisfied with, we want to come out and meet or beat their price. We're going to win your business on the front end with that, and then we're going to keep your business with service. Walton County is a little bit different monster. They have a different type of a franchise, and then Bay County is wide open. So if you're in any of those counties, Bailey is your guy. We'll provide any sort of commercial service that anywhere in any of those counties.
There we go. Bailey, a lot of driving on Highway 98. Maybe a little I-10 also, which is good. This time of year, very fun. So, Joshua, back to yourself on this in reference to business development. What is your role in referencing? He's out there talking to the commercial sales. What's your goal?
My goal is to develop these business relationships, but also the retention. We want to retain our customers, and we also want to do service recovery. It's important to us to know how we're gauging our demographics, and sometimes that's through a marketing approach. Sometimes that is a face-to-face. It's maybe an act of kindness, showing up at someone's doorstep just because they are a valued Adams Sanitation customer. We want them to feel like they made the right choice. So sometimes it's very spontaneous. Sometimes it's tracking metrics. But at the end of the day, it all boils down to our customer experience. And I've got a great team, and we are an awesome team that we work together. And we want to earn the trust of the community. So that's what we're about.
Well done. Well done. Now, Tim, of course, we could talk about this for hours, but did you ever do like an undercover boss thing? I mean, have you been on the truck?
Listen, man, so check this out. A couple weeks ago, I actually rode on the back of the garbage truck down in South Santa Rosa Beach, down in Walton County, so vacation rental stuff. And so I learned a ton, man. I learned that it is hotter than Satan's toenails, for sure. I learned how big maggots can get, which was an interesting dynamic about that. No, man, but two cool things. One, we still have the guys and the gals on the back of the trucks, which means that if you put your stuff out, we're going to pick it up. And that's not always the case when it's automated side loader system. They don't get out of the truck. And so we do a little, that's why we do it that way. Plus, it allows us to employ a group that needs to be employed. And then speaking of that, we brag on the fact that we are one of the largest employers for female drivers in this industry, in this area. And so that's one of the cool things. We provide opportunities to everybody that's looking to work somewhere that they want to care about where they work.
There we go. Tim Bulldog, the CEO of Adams Sanitation. Josh Bugbee, Director of Business Development. What did we miss today, sir?
We have a Santa Rosa local expo that we're going to be involved with. That's coming up August 9th from 10 to 2 p.m. One of my favorite friends, Dara Flanagan, she reached out and says, hey, we want Adams to be involved. Nice. And she said, you will be the only exclusive trash company. I says, hey, jot us down. So we're really excited to be there, be in the community. If you need any other of the information, you can always go to our website, adamsanitation.com. Or if you want to sign up for service, you can also call us at 850-537-3282 and speak to one of our customer representatives, and they'll be glad to help you.
There we go. Bailey Sneed, also the commercial sales manager. How'd the Wahoos do that game? Did they win?
They did.
Tim Bulldog, wrap it up here for Adams Sanitation, my friend.
I just appreciate you getting us out. We always love the Chamber of Commerce, all of our Chamber of Commerces, but especially, the greater Fort Walton Beach Chamber of Commerce. Thank you so much, Ted. We enjoyed coming out.
And on that note, my friends, don't forget Adams Sanitation. That's adamsanitation.com, 850-537-3282 if you need more information. Tim, Bailey, and Joshua, thanks for coming. Stay tuned for more here on Emerald Coast Weekly.